What's up, YouTubers? It is your boy, Alyx Man, and welcome to yet another SummerSlam review for my SummerSlam review series. 2008 to me was the last overall good year for WWE in terms of quality. TV quality, strong characters, good storylines. I don't know what happens with the company following this, but every other year, even now, here in 2018, didn't quite live up to what 2008 was. I felt both Raw and SmackDown were very strong in terms of storylines, in terms of characters, in terms of wrestling. It was just good. And then we get to 2009 and it goes to crap. Yeah, SmackDown is awesome, but Raw sucks. 2010 is a weak year overall for WWE. Nexus Angle, oh my goodness. We'll get to that in 2010. 2011, yes, The Rock returned. Yes, CM Punk had his breakout performance, cutting that promo on stage. 2012, Brock Lesnar, I guess that one's kind of weird. I don't know much about 2012. 2013, the rise of Daniel Bryan, CM Punk and Brock, some good things here and there, but and the Shield, of course. And then 2014 again, Wyatt family, Shield. Yeah, it doesn't feel complete. You got some good things sprinkled throughout the years, but nothing that says fully, wholly, this is a good time to be watching WWE. I thought 2008 was that year, was the last year. Ironically, this is also the last year when WWE is TV 14. Following this, they will be TV PG, which I assume does not make a lot of people happy. But we'll get to that in the next SummerSlam and following that. But for this show, it was surrounded around two matches. One of the matches was the main event, Hell in a Cell, Undertaker versus Edge, a classic, a SummerSlam classic. And of course, Batista versus John Cena, first time ever. So we'll get to those matches in just a little while. Couple of details about this show. The show itself was 2 hours and 40 minutes. It premiered August 17th, 2008. Took place Indianapolis, Indiana. It says Conseco, or is it Conseco? I think Conseco Fieldhouse sounds better. I'm probably saying it wrong. We'll see. Attendance 15,997, so basically 16,000, just under 16,000. Commentary was different. We're trying some different things now with the draft. Jim Ross and Taz are on SmackDown, so they moved Jim Ross to SmackDown, which I believe, and I remember this, was their way of telling Jim Ross, we're kind of moving on from you, man. Jerry the King Lawler and Michael Cole are now on Raw. We replaced Jim Ross with Michael Cole, and yeah, this is the start of it. And then on ECW, we got Todd Grisham and Matt Striker. So, no more Joey Styles. Oh well. Ring announcers were Justin Roberts, Lillian Garcia, and Tony Chimel. The first match was MVP Montel Vontavious Porter taking on Jeff Hardy. His first appearance at SummerSlam, believe it or not. No, it's not, because he appeared last year. So his first match at SummerSlam. Sorry. I got that mixed up. I just completely forgot about that second. Again, 2007 is a very forgettable SummerSlam. But in terms of 2008, I thought MVP was at his best. If he was ever going to be pushed as a main event player, it should have been this year. Would have easily bought him as a world champion. Easily. And to add on to that, he beat Jeff Hardy. Yes, he had help from Shelton Benjamin, but he still beat Jeff Hardy, who was a main event player at this time. So I don't understand why we didn't try him out in the main event scene. I understand we had Triple H and Edge and Undertaker and Great Khali. Good God, Great Khali was still around. But we should have given MVP something. MVP should have gotten a lot more opportunities than he did. Because he was awesome. Especially during this time. Next up is an intergender winner-take-all match. It is Kofi Kingston and Mickie James who are the women and Intercontinental Champions. They took on the loving couple of Santino Marella and Beth Phoenix. One of my favorite parts of Raw. I miss this. Odd couple. It was so good. They were hilarious. And this Santino Marella is my favorite Santino. PG Santino sucks. Cobra Santino sucks. But heel Santino, pre-PG era Santino was awesome. Loved him. And I miss that Santino Marella. But Santino and Beth Phoenix beat Kofi Kingston and Mickie James to become your new IC and Women's Champions in a solid match. So far, everything's looking good. Then we get this segment. If you ask me what was Feud of the Year in 2008, I would tell you Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. And segments like this is why. So there was this angle where Shawn Michaels had an injured eye because Chris Jericho put his face through the Titantron, the Jericho-tron, I forgot what he called that. Jericho 1000, 10,000, whatever. The screen that he used during his highlight reel. He put his face through it, and there was this angle where they had a match, and Shawn Michaels had a bloody eye, and he couldn't finish the match. It was brutal. But he came out to announce what his deal was, what his career was looking like. Shawn said he recently saw doctors due to complications from his eye, and the doctors recommended that he leave, that he walk away. HBK was 43 at this point, so, it was one of those things where if he did walk away, I guess we could buy it because he is getting up there. Honestly, 2 years later, he does retire. But yeah, his career was winding down, and we knew it. We knew his career was winding down, which made this all the more believable, because we really thought he was going away. So, as soon as he said that he was done, here comes Chris Jericho. Jericho comes out in a suit. By the way, Jericho, as this version of his character, was at his best. This was one of the best heel personas I've ever seen from Chris Jericho. This was when Jericho was the guy. I do believe at this point, it was hard to beat Jericho as a character. His performance as a heel was off the charts. They put that world championship on him quickly. Real quickly. It didn't take them long to give him that championship as soon as he turned heel. But this was the start of what would be one of my favorite rivalries of all time. But yeah, Jericho comes out and basically says, I want you, Shawn Michaels, to admit that I ended your career. Give me that credit. Give me the credit of putting you out of business. Give me the credit of ending the career of Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. And Shawn Michaels says, okay, I'll give you some credit. I'll sit my kids down and tell them the reason Daddy can't wrestle anymore is because of the actions of a vile, selfish, worthless human being. Michaels then told Chris Jericho to go home and tell his family that no matter how hard he tries, he will never be better or be Shawn Michaels. This pissed Chris Jericho off. He goes to punch Shawn. Shawn ducks the punch, but the punch ends up hitting his wife, Rebecca, which was shocking. I remember that moment. It blew me away. I was like, I cannot believe they went there. He knocked her out. Now, of course, it was not real. It looked real, but she sold it very well. It was a crazy, crazy segment that led to what I thought was an awesome series of matches. That unsanctioned match at the next pay-per-view and that ladder match? Mwah. Amazing. Clearly some of the best matches that year. But again, 2008 overall was a really good year for me. It really was. And this was why. This and other stuff like this were why. Admittedly, one thing I didn't like about 2008 was what they were doing with the ECW brand. And this match, honestly, kind of encapsulates that. ECW Championship, Mark Henry with Tony Atlas as a manager. Good call, by the way. Taking on Matt Hardy. The match ends in such a poor fashion. It was short, it was pointless, and Matt wins by DQ because Tony Atlas interfered. What was this? This was garbage. Now, I appreciate them getting the cheap pop with Jeff Hardy coming out to help Matt, but this was garbage. What the hell was this? This is bad. Should I even give this a rating? Did it really hurt the show all that much? I might give it a dud. Because if I don't give it a dud, I'm giving it a D. It's gonna be a low grade. I'll be nice and give it a dud. Because honestly, it wasn't even a match. The bell rung, and it was over with. So, I'll say dud. I'll be nice and say dud. I'm actually changing my rating as I'm recording this. So, dud. Because I was gonna give this a low grade. Here we go. Moving on. World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk, who is the champion, he cashed in on Edge to get the championship. Taking on John Bradshaw Layfield. Solid match. Not much else to say about it. CM Punk already talked about this in his documentary, how they didn't really treat him like a world champion, although he was a world champion, which sucks. But really, I don't remember much about it. I remember the initial title win, which is awesome, but the reign itself, yeah, it wasn't that memorable. I'm happy he won the championship. But yeah, Punk wasn't really, and I hate saying this, at that point, he wasn't really main event worthy, if you know what I'm saying. Now he becomes, oh my goodness, he eventually becomes main event worthy, especially next year, and especially in 2011. But right now, I still believe, and it still feels like he's a mid-carder, holding a top title. Shawn Michaels coined the phrase, the man makes the championship, not the other way around. And honestly, it felt like the championship was making Punk. I can admit that. So, I mean, it was a good win for him. But overall, yeah, it was best that he did drop that belt. Now, WWE Championship. Triple H versus the Great Khali. We're not going to waste time with this match. If anything, it was probably the best match you could get out of Great Khali. So, Triple H at least made it average. I wouldn't go back and watch it though. But whatever. It wasn't a crap fest like most of Khali's matches are. Last year that match with Batista last year hurt my soul. It was bad. Speaking of Batista, he took on John Cena next. Great match. For their first match, I really enjoyed this. I went back and watched it. I thought it was really good. John Cena, to me, gets a lot of flack for his character, and he should. It's boring. It should have changed long time ago. But we can't take away from his ability inside the ring. I've always felt Cena, when he wants to, could easily have some of the best matches out of anybody. And I thought this was a testament to that. Great match with Batista. I think Batista was starting to find his rhythm again around this time too. Like I said, after that injury in 2006, he wasn't the same in terms of match quality. But here in 2008, I can see he was starting to get better at, finding himself inside the ring. And I think he reaches that peak in 2009 and 2010 when he's awesome. I love that run for Batista in 2009, 2010. But great match. Batista wins. Right call. This is also the match John Cena gets injured. And he's out for a couple of months. When he comes back and wins the championship off of Chris Jericho. And again, I'm already not a fan of Cena at this point. I think 2007 turned me off from John Cena. But I think when Chris Jericho lost that championship to John Cena, I think that's when I became a hater of Cena. I literally turned into a John Cena hater from that point. Because I'm like, you SOB. You took away what was the best part of Raw, which was Chris Jericho as world champion. Why did you win this championship? There was no reason whatsoever to give John Cena this belt. But, if I ever do a Survivor Series review series, I'll definitely talk about that. But man, that pisses me off thinking about it. What doesn't piss me off is the main event of this show. Easily one of the best SummerSlam matches of all time. And I will put this up against anything you got. Edge versus Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. Before I watched this match, I went back and watched the promo between Edge and Mick Foley on SmackDown, where Edge looked to Mick Foley to find a way to beat Taker. And Mick Foley cut one of his best promos. The last promo before he left for TNA, by the way. But it was an awesome promo where he reminded Edge of their match at WrestleMania 22, where he called Edge the greatest superstar in the world of all time. And he says, you need to find that Edge. Because if you don't, Undertaker will tear you apart. Am I understood? And that's when we got the classic, I understand. He beats the living hell out of Mick Foley. Does an elbow drop, an assisted chair elbow drop off the ladder. A chair assisted elbow drop. That sounds better. A chair assisted elbow drop off the top of a ladder to put him out, which led to this match. All the stuff with him and Vicky. Okay, see, thinking about it a little bit, although 2008 was still a good year, there were some things I didn't like. I didn't like that Vicky and Eddie. Good God, what's wrong with me? I love Vicky and Eddie. What's wrong with me? Like, I meant to say Vicky and Edge. I don't even know where Eddie came from. Well, Eddie Guerrero, I know. Sorry. Edge and Vicky, when they were married, I wasn't a fan of that. I wasn't. La Familia? Whatever. I mean, it did its job because you had the Edgeheads, which was awesome. I love the Edgeheads. Chavo Guerrero and Vicky. But in terms of Vicky and Edge, not my thing. But anyways, this is a classic. Everything they did in this Hell in a Cell match was outstanding. They took it outside the cage. You got bumps where Edge speared Taker through the cage, speared him through the table. You got ladders, you got chairs, you got tables. You got everything you needed, man. I even like the callback when Edge used the camera to attack Taker, which set this feud into motion, by the way. I thought that was good. It just is a great feud. Edge and Taker had one of the best feuds, again, that I've seen in a while. And I also loved that at the end, when Taker beats Edge, he puts him through the ring, and the ring lights on fire. Jim Ross, Taker just sent Edge straight to hell. Literally. I'm telling you, man, it's a really good show. I like going back and watching this. 2008, to me, was the last overall good year for WWE. Now, if you disagree, please tell me down below. But following this is 2009 and 2010, and that will be the end of my review series. We'll be caught up. Might have time to re-review 2011, but I don't need to. 2010 is when I'm stopping. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Give me your thoughts down below about 2008, and I'll see you in 2009. I was going to say 2011. 2009. See you then.